You're listening to an old episode of Metal Gear Mondays. To keep up with all of the new episodes, please check out patreon.com/Metal Gear Mondays.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Metal Gear Mondays, the podcast where we play all the Metal Gear games from start to finish, top to bottom, left to right, right to left if you're Japanese. My name is Alessio Summerfield, and I am joined by Isaac Glenn.
Hello. Hello.
Samuel Wright.
I'm Blue Dabadai.
And our lovely guest from last episode is joining us again, Mr. Kole Ross.
Hello.
Awesome. And
he's just so polite. Me and Isaac are being idiots, and he's just like, hello.
Here's the thing. I say hello with the same cadence and pitch every time, and I'm waiting for somebody to notice, God damn it.
It's like those people that can draw perfect circles. He just like hits it every single time.
Well, just take the SpongeBob. All you have to do to draw a perfect circle is just draw a perfect face, and then just erase all the fine details, and then you have a circle.
Yeah. Yes. So this is the episode where we don't give a shit and we just cut up like crazy, which is perfect for this ragtag bunch of weirdos that we have on the podcast. And we are going to tackle your responses to the first part of Metal Gear Solid 3, though a lot of you just kind of talked about general MGS3 stuff, which is great. But yeah, and these have been parsed for spoilers, so if I missed something, that's all on me, and I apologize to you, Isaac.
Oh my Oh no.
I think I edited them enough, but we'll find out soon.
It won't make sense to me anyway, so.
Gotcha. But yeah, so let's start us off with Sam. Sam, can you tackle the first email?
Well, I certainly will. This email is from, I'll give him a shout for this, our first ever Patreon backer, Wes Pomeroy. Via email, he says, "Hey guys, after replaying MGS1 and MGS2 over the past few weeks, I started Snake Eater this past Sunday with the hopes of playing it alongside the podcast. Thus far, I have completed the Virtuous mission and had a few thoughts and questions I wanted to share."
Did you say virtual
mission? No. Virtuous mission.
Virtua mission.
That's the Sega spinoff.
Virtua Fighter, what?
Virtua Cop.
VR Troopers. God, I just want to do a VR Troopers podcast so bad. We are VR. I need it. Anyway, first, I love the openings to all the Metal Gear Solid games. I think they are some of the best intros in gaming. Snake Eater, however, is my favorite. The Halo jump is absolutely epic, and the lead into the Snake Eater theme after the completion of the Virtuous mission is perfect. Second, I forgot how damn hard this game is, and damn is all capital letters to accentuate. I definitely think this is the most difficult Metal Gear Solid. The guards spot you incredibly easy anytime you stand up, and the lack of good radar system makes the experience super intense. I believe this is a symptom of Snake Eater trying to outgrow its console generation. The past Metal Gear games knew what they were and knew their limitations. Snake Eater is very ambitious in its execution, and that leads to some awkward control and unintentional alerts. How do you guys feel about that statement?
I don't know. I don't think it's unintentional. I think it's very intentional. And I think that just kind of leads to everything that we've been saying about how this is trying to kind of set a bar for a new Metal Gear experience. Because I think other than 4, every game after this never takes a back step back towards the radar.
Yeah, I think so.
And I mean, I sort of agree with his first statement that it's the hardest game. It's hard in the fact that, like, you do get spotted really easily, but you can always run away really easily and hide and regenerate your health. So
be patient.
Yeah, patience is key.
Yeah, I don't know. Like for me, like maybe I take like too far of a view of this, or like more of a meta view, but I don't have a lot of problems with an inexperienced snake like getting seen a lot. Like
Yeah,
from a
that's
narrative point of view,
yeah.
but also I never play these games to like minimize my cautions or alerts. Just kind of like, oh, if I get seen, what happens after that happens? If I die, okay. But yeah, I think that it really does depend on expectation and also kind of perspective.
And if you're in a really bad pickle, you can always chomp down on that fake death pill.
Yeah. I'll occasionally like tongue my back tooth and see if I can flip it up to see if somebody's installed one.
I will say, too, one thing that we did not touch on the episode is that there are a lot of firsts that happen at the beginnings of these missions. So it's like the first time they use the Fulton recovery system, but it's also the world's first Halo jump, which immediately in Operation Snake Eater, it's also like the world's first like drone drop or whatever. So Snake's just breaking records everywhere.
He absolutely is. Speaking of which, Wes continues. He says, after my awesome Halo jump descent into enemy territory, I was super pumped, ready to be a super spy, and ready to kick some Soviet ass. Unfortunately, I forgot how different the controls here are from the previous games. And it took me way too long to remember that the D-pad was used to sneak. I feel you, brother. This resulted in some super bumbling with me, alerting guards by trying to stand up rather than crouch or run when I wanted to sneak. After about 30 minutes of reacquainting myself with the controls, I decided to restart the game and play through the mission again. This time, I was the super spy I wanted to be. I snuck through the jungle undetected while using a hornet's nest to distract the sentries at the bridge. I hid in a hollowed out tree in order to perfectly sneak up and choke out an unsuspecting guard. Then I completed gameplay by silently infiltrating the building where Sokolov was being held. The whole experience was super intense without the radar system of past Metal Gear games and served as a reminder of what the series can be at its best. I would love to hear your thoughts regarding which Metal Gear intros you like best, which I think we touched on last episode. Which games you found the most difficult and how you guys executed the virtuous mission, which is all talked about last episode. And in bold, also, I really hope Isaac will be back for this episode.
No,
we get it. Alessio and Sam are not as legendary and fulfilling as the legend of Doesn't Have a Twit. We get it. He's back. You're welcome. Get off our back.
you're happy now. All right, guys.
Hey, the first taste is free. Every time after that, I gotta charge you.
Daddy got to charge you for the
Make it a new new Patreon tier.
Yeah, if you want Isaac on the podcast, you have to donate $20 to our Patreon.
Otherwise, you get the Isaac free version.
Oh god.
Oh no. That's honestly, I think that would be motivation for some people. Honestly. We're not gonna do it because we actually like you guys, but
yeah. So vote now: pre-recorded Isaac from previous episodes or real Isaac. Pay with your dollar.
Oh man.
Wes wraps it up with thanks and keep up the great work, and we will certainly try.
Awesome possum.
That was nice.
There was one thing that I wanted to quickly add to that, which was when he was talking about difficulty of controls. Having played MGS5 most recently, the ability to not be able to move while crouched really fucked with me. In this game.
Yeah.
I kept
can't move?
doing it. Well, so in this game, when you have to press X, and then if you move, you go prone. But in MGS5 and Peace Walker, you can crouch and then crouch walk.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And so I was so used to being able to crouch walk that I forgot I had to press X multiple times to stand back up.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, no, good.
No, I was going to say, to answer his question about difficulty, I think it was 3 until I started playing 5. I had the hardest time with 5.
I think 3 has a unique combination of it's asking a lot of you, and it's definitely making it very hard to do what it's asking of you. 5, yeah, it's asking a lot, but the controls are really intuitive. And especially it's like faster, more free flowing kind of stuff. And this, it kind of feels like you're playing what would the equivalent of a flight simulator be for a dude?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Oh man, this.
Yeah. I mean, I felt it was a little bit more. It was more realistic in nature that like you had to control your camouflage, and you could see like how camouflage you were. And then I guess all with the medical stuff, that was adding more realism to it. But then it was more forgiving with the whole regenerating your health. So I don't know. It's pros and cons for me.
Yeah.
It's good. We haven't gotten to Snake's like Asperger's level descriptions of how much he loves guns yet.
Yeah. Well,
So
we haven't found Snake's gun bro yet either. So
I can't
that's
wait.
awesome. Isaac, do you want to take this next one from Liquid Metal Mike?
LMM. Sure thing.
That was really sensual.
Was it? It was supposed to be.
LMM. You've seen through my intent.
I had my hand on my chest for.
Wow. So Liquid Metal Mike is also the origin of the original Matt Campbell fan art.
Yep.
So he's
Yeah.
a hero.
He's a hero. He's the flag bearer for Matt Campbell fan art, considering that he's the only person that sent us Matt Campbell fan art.
He's sent us multiple drawings.
Yes. He sent us the original picture, which is currently my phone background. And he also sent us a picture of Gerlukovich betraying Matt Campbell.
An overweight alcoholic
I love
Matt
that one.
Campbell.
I
Yeah.
love.
It's wonderful.
Okay, so Liquid Metal Mike says to us, okay, so I'm a little ham-faced, but here goes my best recollection of MGS3. The trailers for it had the bombers in the Cold War era dates flashing before the MGS2 theme, with some acoustic guitar accent revealing a snake-eating solid snake. Question mark? Wait, is that a question?
Yeah.
No, it's got to be Big Boss for sure. Okay, I just had to keep reading. I'm sorry.
Don't slow down. Isaac.
Shoot.
You have to also understand here, he says ham-faced, that means drunk.
Yeah. Oh,
So
I got that.
Oh, and
some of this
I
might-
heavily edited this because there were typos abound.
Oh. Did he actually say ham-faced?
Thanks, Mike.
Then I play the game on easy, and I look for Raiden.
Here, hold on. I'll say the swears. I forgot that I gave Isaac the most swear-laden one.
It's okay.
He said, "I look like fucking Raiden," and damn near. Go ahead, Isaac.
I bust my
Just keep
controller
going. I'll
in
say the
half.
swears. Just keep going.
No, I want to say the next swears for him, please.
That mask came in real handy later, though. And then
And then the fucking river. Fuck that river.
I like to avoid strategy guides, so
That fuck
That
my
fuck
life.
my life river.
gave me a
Hell of a time.
Hell.
figuring out the secret. Seriously.
Fuck that
Fuck
river.
that river.
Then there's the ending, hands down, the best video game ending ever.
Oh, Isaac doesn't swear, y'all.
yeah, no,
As
this
evidenced
is,
by his.
I've
this is
heard Isaac.
fascinating.
I've heard Isaac swear once in the 15 years that I've known him, and it was amazing. It was the most glorious, like, it was the most nonchalant, like, I had to double take. I was like, wait a minute. Did I just hear that right?
Yep.
As evidenced by his consistent uses of the phrase shoot and darn.
I thought he was just being quaint. No, I appreciate it. It was great.
Yeah, no, beautiful.
We have your back. Isaac.
We ought to give him swear laden messages more
my
often.
goodness.
So we can play fucking Mad Libs.
No, he's backed up by a very profane Greek chorus.
I like that.
I will say,
Oh,
I think
beautiful.
Liquid Metal Mike is referring to the river boss fight, maybe?
Oh yeah.
I think, because he skips around, like in this message, he skips around through the game a little bit. So I don't know if he means the bridge or if he means the river fight. Yeah.
Well, when he says figuring out the secret, I think he means like that part
yeah.
Yeah.
at the end of it, which we don't want to spoil for Isaac. But
Well, it's
No,
likewise, too, if you did figure out the secret, it doesn't really help you in the moment. It just kind of helps you through the game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But Cole, would you like to read the next email from Zach DeTrocchio?
Yes. So Zach writes in via email saying, "Hey, Metal Gear Monday crew and Cole, it's Zach here." Hey, I got to mention, it's cool. Zach is a fairly new listener, first time writing into the show directly. I'm a huge fan of the show and actually binge listened to the Metal Gear Solid and MGS Ghost Babel episodes to hear Cole's thoughts on the games. And I'm very excited to hear him discuss the Virtuous Mission with you guys.
Those were good episodes of WAF, by the way.
Oh yeah, I love doing those. I like talking about Metal Gear if it hasn't come through. Zach continues, "I did a quick run through of the Virtuous Mission just to get caught up and play along with you guys. And I definitely can say that the nostalgia is real with this one. Even after having replayed it on the HD collection numerous times in the past 4.5 years. I still get that same feeling of excitement that 11-year-old Zach got back in 2004 when the game was first released, especially upon hearing the opening notes of Snake Eater. The first thing I have to ask is, what did you guys think of the very out-of-place Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater wording on the front of Snake's altitude mask for the Halo jump?
you heard what we thought. It's weird as shit.
Yeah, it's super out of place. Zach continues, "I don't remember that being in the original PS2 version, and it's a bit too forced for me." In the following cutscene, I couldn't stop laughing when Snake says "virtual mission." That was a terrible impression. Oh gosh, it's so late. I've done a total of 5 hours of podcast recording today, guys.
Oh, man.
Ah, nice.
I couldn't stop laughing when Snake says "virtual mission," as all I could think of was back when Alessio, Sam, and I were talking about the skit where he says that, and then Raiden's bursts into a screaming, "Did you say nerd?" And then, of course,
we had a Skype call with him. We were just kind of chatting with him, like pre him being on the podcast. 'Cause he's going to be one of our guests. And we worked out a skit where Ryan does just that.
Raiden's very insecure. Like just as a rule.
He is.
Zach continues. And then, of course, there's the part where he loses his backpack. But all I could think of was the spoof short where Snake opens his backpack too late and just goes hurtling toward the cliff to his death. The last thing I have to say about the Virtuous Mission is to ask you guys if you knew about the extra weapons that are in this section. I found out about this back in the PS2 days, and you can actually find the SVD sniper rifle in Dremuchij North if you take the first left and go to the dead end that it leads to. That actually makes
You want me to do this?
Yeah,
Let me do this?
That's tough. Go ahead. Pick it up.
Dolinvodno.
That actually makes Dolin Vadno very easy and entertaining if you shoot the bee's nest onto the one guard at the end of the rope bridge, so he runs to his buddies halfway across and then starts sniping the ropes and watching them fall into the gorge. It's also this area where you can find the XM16E1 M16 in the small cave beneath the bridge, where the raindrop camo is located during Operation Snake Eater. I spent more time than I'd like to admit crawling beneath Sokolov's cell in Rosvit, playing Exterminator using the M16 on full auto. I think that's overkill, Zach.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Come on, Detrokio.
I mean, he just wants to make some rat dust, I suppose. And then in conclusion here, one final note: the boss breaking Snake's arm still makes me cringe to this day. An elbow is not supposed to bend that way. Anyway, keep up the amazing shows. I'm looking forward to the rest of this season, and I'm extremely excited to be a part of it in the near future. And remember, it's just a box.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Don't worry, guys. The show's not over.
Yeah.
We're still going.
Yeah, that elbow bend is like the thing nightmares are made of.
Yeah.
The sound.
Like they made that. Yeah, they made that whole scene in like excruciating detail.
Yeah. Sam, I'm gonna skip over this Nick one so that you can read that later since it's partial.
Yeah.
Since you have it pulled up in the Slack.
What do you mean since it's partial? I typed out the entire thing he said.
Oh, weird. For me, it's only the one sentence. Maybe I have to reload my.
Oh.
Anyway, I'll skip it
I
for
will.
now.
I really want to read it though because I want to talk about this.
Yeah. I'll let you read it. Go ahead, Cole. Sorry.
So something along with the elbow break. Are you guys aware of the switcheroo that they did with the actors in this? No. So in order to kind of like sell the fact that Snake is real young, and kind of extremely inexperienced, they have separate actors for both the kind of like acting scenes and for the action scenes. And so for certain scenes, they actually had the action guy do the acting stuff and the acting guy do the action stuff. In order to kind of like sell his awkwardness in the kind of like romantic stuff later on. And to sell his awkwardness with kind of his physical prowess. Like they had his mocap artists were playing against their strengths.
That's
And
crazy.
you can
That's really cool.
you can totally see that in his confrontation with the boss.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Fun fact.
Just keep an eye out for it because it's like a really masterful decision.
That's awesome.
Not everything needs to
pretty
be
cool. I like
polished,
that.
y'all. Like
Yeah, for sure. If Silent Hill 2 taught me anything with its voice actors,
yeah.
Go
Go for it,
definitely-
man.
It's preferred, especially after Troy Baker, Harry Mason. Yuck.
Oh my god.
Yuck.
Life is for living, man.
Troy Baker. Troy Baker, everything.
Cole, real quick,
We must submit to Baker.
to the Troy Baker solidarity.
I liked
Thank you,
Troy
Isaac.
Baker as Ocelot in 5.
I like him in the like brief, somehow 2 hours of combined voice work that he's done in my 80 hours of playing the game.
He's good. Like Troy Baker will always sound like Troy Baker, but he did a really good job with that character, I think.
Yeah. He always just reminds me of not Comstock. What's the Pinkerton agent version of Comstock's name again?
Booker?
That's
Booker,
like mega spoilers. Yeah, Booker.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry.
Well, no,
Super
like,
mega like multi-year spoiler.
Yeah. Well, it's difficult for me to hear him and not have him sound like what's his name, Jimmy Last of Us.
Oh yeah,
Joel?
Joel.
Yeah, Joel.
I think he did a really good job.
Yeah,
in
that
The
was
Last of
good.
Us.
Yeah.
Like phenomenal job. in
Yeah,
The Last of Us.
he gets work for a reason.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
He also takes care of his
Yeah,
hair
and-
like a champ.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. And him and other prolific voice actor Nolan North are going to be together in Uncharted here soon.
Yeah, they were together in Last of Us.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah. I forgot David was Nolan North, wasn't he?
I feel like
Oh man.
I feel like when the
That
two
was
of
chilling.
them speak simultaneously, it's like standing in between two Starbucks that are across the street from each other. Like your watch stops ticking for a little bit.
I don't know, man. Like I'm sorry to take us down this road because I know it's very late. But have you guys played Saints Row 4?
I have not
yeah.
played 4 yet.
Yeah, well, 4, you know how they let you like in the series in general they let you pick your voice actor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can choose Nolan North as an option for your voice.
Yep. And it's just
And
Nolan,
it's like
it's just Nolan North being like a Nolan North ass voice, like it's himself,
Yeah.
and like they rewrite some of the lines to indicate that the boss is in fact Nolan North.
That's amazing.
like just but like
it's
like,
pretty phenomenal.
Like both these dudes, yeah, it's ridiculous that they appear in all these games, but like they're super talented. I have like immense respect for them.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's just hilarious.
My last-
They're like they're super self-aware of it too, which is great.
Yeah.
My my last Silent Hill weird voice acting question that I was going to ask you, Cole.
Yep.
And I don't know if you guys said it or not. Are you guys playing the HD version of Silent Hill 3 for WoF?
No, actually,
good.
I tried doing it. So it sucks that you can't get the original voice actors because I like Heather's voice actor a lot,
sure.
and also like for a different reason, I like Douglas's voice actor a lot because he sounds like an old bluesman in the
Yeah.
original PS2. I did the original PS2, not because of like voice actor affiliation or whatever,
Yeah.
but because the HD version, just the frame rate in 3 is just god awful.
Yeah. Also, the sounds. Apparently, I didn't know this, but apparently they fucked up the sounds. And so, like, when you walk on like regular pavement, it makes like metal noises and
I
stuff.
think they patched that out. I didn't notice it when we were doing Duckstream.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
Cool.
but the voice acting is the primary bone of contention. But for me, like the frame rate, especially because so much of that game is about big, wide open spaces and lots of enemies coming at you, it just gets untenable. In a way that like takes you out of the experience, and as you'll find out on this upcoming episode of Watch Out for Fireballs.
Yeah.
Go check it out, guys.
No, like I love that game so goddamn much. It is one of my favorite things in the entire world, and like anything that takes you out of that experience is just like is meant to be looked upon with disdain.
For sure. Well, I bought 1, 2, 3, and 4, like the original copies, like 2 years ago.
Nice.
And I beat 1 and 2 and have never beaten 3. And so you guys will probably be the reason why I actually finish it.
Oh, it's super short. Like it's like a 5-hour game.
Oh, nice. It's just too fucking scary to play.
Oh yeah, no, like definitely. Like shit. I'm so sorry that I made this about like promoting my own shit, but like, Silent Hill is just my favorite possible thing in the world. Like so like the second you get me going, I will continue going about it. But yeah, no. Four's on my streaming list up soon, along with Echo Night Beyond and Until
nice.
Dawn. But like,
Nice.
yeah,
Well, sweet.
Until Dawn. Have you played Until Dawn yet, Cole?
no, I want to go in blind to play for a
Okay.
stream.
I need to play it too.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
I think you'll like it.
I love that shit. I love that kind of game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Same.
I've taken us off topic too much. I'm sorry.
You're fine,
No,
you're fine.
fuck it. This is what we do. No, Until Dawn is very much a love letter to the genre. So
Fantastic.
I think you'll like it a lot.
Yeah.
Sweet. Do you want to take Nick here?
Oh, yeah. Well, before we move on from this, I just have one more statement about Troy Baker and Nolan North. I watched this video. This chick was interviewing Troy Baker, and he was doing a very jokey interview with her. But so, what kind of advice do you have for people trying to get involved in voice acting? And he just like dead eyes the camera and goes, "Kill Nolan North and me."
I forget. Was that in I Know That Voice?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a
Yeah.
fantastic documentary that I think is still on Netflix, but it's John DiMaggio,
nice.
Bender, and what's his name, Phoenix from Gears of War. He put together this documentary about voice acting in Hollywood and video games and anime and stuff like that. And that is it's not super strong as a documentary, but like you're gonna get to see a lot of people doing voices, and that is fascinating if you like anything like video games or anything that is animation based.
Nice. I did not
Yeah.
know about that. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's a great watch.
Sweet. Hi guys. This is an ASMR special segment. I'm just stepping out of the shower and I've got a robe on. But if you'd like to listen to this podcast and other great podcasts like it, go to Geek. 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 D-I.me. guys, this is Alessio. I was also in the shower with Isaac, and I just stepped out to remind you to go to patreon.com/GeekTimePod. Hey guys, this is Sam, and I was in the shower with Isaac and Alessio. And I just want to remind you to go on iTunes and rate and review all of our podcasts. If this triggers your ASMR, like our If you would like more ASMR info on as a Patreon perk,
We'll do an entire episode of ASMR.
Oh my gosh.
If you
That would be
donate
amazing.
to our Patreon.
please don't jack off to our voices.
If we get 15 patrons on Patreon, we'll do an entirely ASMR episode. 100%.
Enough.
Jesus Christ.
Well, cool. Sam, I'll let you take
All right.
Nick before I jump into Sam.
Yeah. Okay. Email. Oh, actually, not even an email. Nikki Ziggy Stardust, Nikki Z in the place to be. Booyakasha, Nick Ziegler, via our Slack channel, which you can get invited to by going to patreon.com/geektimepod and donating $1. Sent this message as we started recording. Just talking about Metal Gear Solid 3. He said, I really like the whole scene where where Snake takes down Ocelot and the Self-Esteem team.
I like that. I like that a lot.
We'll never refer to them as the Ocelot unit again. No matter how improbable it was that one of them didn't just shoot Snake. The whole scene is beautifully animated and choreographed, and it's super fun to watch. I also like the little Easter egg that happens if you kill Ocelot afterwards, which is the time paradox thing that we talked about. He goes on to say, another little thing I noticed playing through, after Snake is thrown off the bridge and he washes up on the riverbed, he flips himself over, and if you are watching carefully, he actually flinches when his broken arm flops onto the ground. It's the little details that make Metal Gear the greatest series ever.
Yeah.
And thank you, Nikki Z.
I wanna cross the streams for a second. So in Silent Hill 3, there is a fella hiding behind a plastered wall, and if you examine the wall, you'll see two little feet, and whenever you examine it, you get a silencer, I think.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a nod to Metal Gear, but they're both Konami, and it makes sense.
They were roughly concurrent too.
Yeah. So, cool. Well, I'm going to jump into this next one. This is Sam Mashville Wilson via Facebook. Hey guys.
And there can be only one Sam. I'm going to start calling you Smashville.
Good old Smashville Wilson. Great wrestler name, by the way.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
You gotta,
Smashville Wilson coming at you. Dig it.
Hey guys, greetings from Australia. First off, let me say great job on the podcast. Really enjoying it so far. I found the podcast the same way it seems many fans have. Searched Metal Gear Solid into iTunes and yours popped up. The reason why I was searching was because I recently replayed Metal Gear Solid 4 and was cruising through the game in the in-game iPod, which contained episode 1 of the official Konami Metal Gear podcast, which got me thinking that there must be someone doing a good ongoing MGS podcast. Yours is exactly what I was looking for, and exactly why we made it, because I did the exact same thing. I am a relative latecomer to the Metal Gear Solid series. As a teen, I had dabbled with the games, but could never dedicate myself to learning to play them properly. The first Metal Gear Solid game I played to completion was Guns of the Patriots. I'm sorry. On the recommendation of my now fiance.
Stop it, Alessio. You're being mean.
I'm sorry. Understandably, a lot of the plot went over my head, having not played any of the previous games, but I was still completely engrossed by the themes and storytelling. I remember thinking that it was just like modern military fantasy. After finishing Guns of the Patriots, I dug deep into the story and mythos of the series and found myself hooked. Next, I played Ground Zeroes, which, despite the fact that it's basically a glorified demo, I loved I loved it for its dark themes and insanely good graphics and gameplay. I love Kiefer Sutherland as Big Boss. I feel like he has more range than David Hayter. Plus, I see Hayter more as the voice of Solid Snake than Big Boss. I was completely blown away by Phantom Pain from start to finish. I know some people weren't happy with the ending of the story in general, but I was just amazed that Kojima had found a way to reconcile the continuity holes between Metal Gear 1 and 2 and Metal Gear Solid. The gameplay was the best of the series to date, and Quiet is easily my favorite female character of the series. Phantom Pain also made me respect and loved Ocelot. That dude holds it down.
Whoop, whoop.
Sorry.
That's fancy Ocelot. That's not Troy Baker Ocelot. So.
Yeah, that's Mr. Fancy Pants Ocelot with his guns. and
Before
his-
he gets grounded, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Before he gets sent to his room.
And then,
Go to your room, Mr. Sir.
Mr.
Like,
Quadruple Agent.
I meant it more in the sense of like, oh, he's he matures alongside Big Boss. They're both they're colleagues, but he can be sent to his room too, I suppose.
Yeah, I think so. Snake's supposed to be 25, right? In MGS3.
God,
I think so.
I'm a failure.
I'm just like thinking of scenarios now that Ocelot would get sent to his Ocelot. When we brought DD back to Mother Base, we talked about responsibility, and you haven't been walking DD like you're supposed to. Go to your room and think about what you've done, young man.
Go practice torture on your dummies.
It's fucked up.
Oh, anyway.
So Smashville continues. I had never gone back and tried to play any of the older games because I didn't think I could handle moving backwards gameplay-wise. But after playing Phantom Pain, I knew I had to play through Snake Eater, once again persuaded by my fiance. So I bought the HD Remake Collection for PS3 and got stuck into it. Also, really quick side note, who is your fiance? Because they sound amazing. They keep recommending these great games for you to play. I'm very glad that I bit the bullet and dove into it. At times, I was frustrated by the awkward controls, but it was totally worth it for the story. That game feels like a James Bond movie on steroids to me. The opening sequence of the Virtuous Mission is such a great setup, teaching you how to play the game and introducing the main players without ever feeling like a boring tutorial. I'd always heard that the boss fight with the End was one of the best in the series, and it did not disappoint. I had so much fucking trouble in the final battle. That fight took me at least 8 tries. It wasn't that she was beating me, I just finished her before the time limit ran out. Oh, and that Snake Eater theme song. Holy shit, so good. After smashing through Snake Eater, I replayed Guns of the Patriots, which I enjoyed even more than the first time because I actually understood the story and all of the references to previous games properly. My favorite moment in that game is either the Rex
Don't.
Good call.
Delete it. Do something.
Blank.
Delete it.
Which
Oh,
I
I'm
now
erasing
know
this
is
for Isaac.
blank. Anyway, once again, great job on the show. Can't wait until you start on Snake Eater and to hear your opinions of the controversial ending of Phantom Pain. You guys have given me even more love of my favorite game series. And remember, it's just a box.
I love
Isaac,
Isaac's
I'm sorry.
Isaac's like defeated. Delete it.
Please.
What is up with all these listeners
No.
trying to prematurely end our episode? With this, it's just a box nonsense.
Yeah, they're trying, man.
Hey,
They must not want the podcast.
that's a thing. It's gonna sound like I'm being cute, but people are going to want to put you in a box.
Oh. I just pictured plushies of us in a box.
I was gonna say like I would take that as being pretty grim. Like, no, they're not putting you in a coffin, but like they're gonna latch onto that one thing for you, you know?
That's true.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Plushies. Go to geektime.spreadshirt.com. No, I'm kidding. They don't. I don't think they do plushies. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure something out. You can get a shirt that says that. Awesome.
Yeah, it's just.
So, Isaac, do you want to round us off?
All right.
I promise this one has no spoilers. I'm sorry I fucked up on the
You
last
sure about
one.
that? I don't know
promise.
if I trust you anymore.
Hold on. Let me read it real quick. Okay, you're
All right.
good.
Thanks. All right.
Rosebud was Matt Campbell.
So we have a Facebook message from Ben Smith. Ben Garibaldi Smith. Hey guys. So like most people,
So dramatic.
MGS3 is my favorite entry in the series, although it's very close between that and the Phantom Pain. I feel the story has the most depth and character development in the series, which I agree so far. Although I do feel that the whole of MGS4 story couldn't have happened without the events and characters set up in MGS3. They reference so many specific moments throughout MGS4. Just the one comment from playing through the Virtuous mission. Did anyone else find it really noticeable that all the Soviet guards throughout the mission and game all had American accents? After I think we went over that. Or did we actually go over the
Hold on,
details?
let me push up my glasses real quick. I did.
Oh God.
Okay.
We commented specifically to that effect.
As a matter of fact, we answered the question before reading the question.
Fantastic.
We do that a lot without even realizing it.
Yeah.
Okay. After spending so much time with MGS2, it was really jarring to hear the Soviet, quote, guards calling in support with American
That was a good
accents.
verbal quote.
Cue Sam's impression of the cyborg ninja here.
Does mine's down.
Also, the cutscene where Snake takes down the entirety of Ocelot's unit, also known as
The
Self-esteem team.
yeah, is one of the best in the whole game. Anyway, that's my piece said. Great work, and look forward to the podcast on Operation Snake Eater.
Sorry. It's like that song.
I give my life.
Oh, God.
No.
I feel like...
for you.
Do you guys think that more people would enlist in the armed forces if they put that as the theme song behind one of the new army ads?
Oh, absolutely.
That would be amazing.
Crime. It's the way I fly to you.
Snake
Yep.
eater. Cool.
Yeah.
So,
in a quick response to that, I would feel remiss if I blew my shot here to say this. Like Metal Gear Solid 3, like prequels are usually tiresome because they feel the need to set up too much and like have a lot of connections to, hey, this thing I already know. But the fact that this is like its own self-contained thing until like even oh gosh, what is it? The Vita game, the PSP game.
Peace Walker?
Yeah, even Peace Walker has like very tenuous connections to this. Like the fact that this is its own self-contained kind of thing that like acts as a base kind of like referent for everything else in the series makes it possible for them to like make this thing that does have the depth and character development that Ben talks about. Right?
Sure.
Like you know, they're not slave to continuity, they're creating it. And like all of the connections to future stuff, it doesn't feel like it is made because like, oh, we've got to make everything pat for the fans who are expecting things to tie up. But it's like, no, like here, we're going to have some fun with this and like have the macro arc be this story that we want to tell as opposed to this story that we are compelled to tell because the series is kind of like driving to this place that everybody expects to because of its own momentum.
For sure.
That's the benefits of being like the first in a story. Even though it's 3, it's the prequel to the whole thing.
Yeah.
And even if you put fan service things in there for people who've played the games before, it's still the first. So you're creating a self-contained bubble for people who haven't played anything else.
Yeah. And that's why this is still like, if somebody asked me which Metal Gear game should you go play, like this is probably going to be the one because the mechanics and systems are there, but also you're not going to feel alienated by what's happening on the screen.
That's true.
Definitely not 4.
Oh, God.
Like Smashville did. Yeah, or 2.
Well, and I will say it's funny that you mentioned that because I feel like MGS1, even when it came to the States, and a lot of people, myself included, did not know what the fuck was going on. I almost feel like even with the retconning that Kojima and company did, that game very much so, I think just like alienated a ton of people. But I guess it just kind of took it in stride instead.
Yeah. I just like, it felt like a sense of mystery, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to everything else was like, okay, we all have this like common point of reference, which is Metal Gear Solid 1. You know?
Totally. Well, and I will say this, now that you mentioned that, because I didn't even really consider that sort of take on the prequel nature of the game, but I think this might be my favorite prequel in anything.
Yeah.
Not Star Wars?
That's what the mind jumps to.
Yeah.
I hate sand. It's so rough.
It gets in my butt.
Oh gosh. Well,
A
sweet.
plus.
I will say, so since a lot of our listeners have kind of come here from having played the Phantom Pain, and we did this great, amazing thing where we're like, hey, let's start a Metal Gear podcast, but let's play them in like release order and make everybody wait forever for us to get to 5. I will say,
Listener retention.
Cole, without spoiling anything, I am curious, what are your feelings on the Phantom Pain? Because I don't know, other than the level, I don't know if you really have an outlet through the shows that you do. And I've been really curious about your take on 5.
I really love 5. If I'm going to put a finer point on it, I really love the first chapter of 5. Like, the Phantom Pain is very obviously an incomplete work, which hurts the overall thing. But I think that by the time it resolves of its own momentum and tells the story that it wants to tell, that was set up in Ground Zeroes, that feels pretty satisfying to me. So like chapter 2, the less said about the overall kind of like gestalt of it, the better. There are cool moments in it, but like when you look at what you're actually doing, I had so much fun playing it. Like it is the best that a Metal Gear game has ever felt, making it interesting when you fail and kind of letting you improvise in a way that like they only kind of like promised but never delivered on in 3, to where you are like planning your approach. And that is all, it feels like stuff that is made possible with, the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, kind of current generation of hardware, which is how do you keep track of a large number of moving bodies without having this super abstract kind of like radar thing. And so the actual loop of like going to a base and then for me, like sandmanning them out, is incredibly satisfying. And like, even when it like dips its toe into Kojima fuckery, it feels very satisfying to me in a way that like, oh, like they like it's fan service, but I am a fan and like being serviced by a creator is not bad,
I'm a fan. Service me.
Kind of, but like it didn't get in the way. And I think that it is like one of the best and most inventive open world games that I've played, especially since so much of that design has kind of been thrown over to like these codified heuristics of, like Ubisoft design and things like that. Like playing it was such a breath of fresh air, which is bizarre when you're talking about a franchise as old and storied as this is.
Yeah, I will say the first time I played Ground Zeroes, it really felt to me like this is the Metal Gear that that Kojima had been envisioning since MGS1.
Yeah.
So nice.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. Yeah, I guess other than that, do you guys have anything that you would like to say, plug, anything like that before we wrap the episode up?
Can I just talk about the stellar deal that I got on a Chibi Robo amiibo?
Oh.
I didn't have to buy the game, and I got the Japanese amiibo on Amazon for $8.
What? Wow. Did you order it from the Japanese Amazon?
I ordered it from the American Amazon, and I used our affiliate link to buy it.
Wait a minute, you're just putting money back into your own pocket.
I know, it's
Exactly.
amazing.
It's great.
It's like free money, Alessio. It's like free money.
Actually, did you guys...
It's not like...
I don't know if you guys
not
know
like
this
that
or
at
not. The Japanese Amazon store now allows you to pay with an American credit card and ship it internationally,
Yeah.
which is
Oh,
amazing.
that's dangerous.
Yes, it is. Well, cool. So I'm actually going to plug something here because I just realized that based on the release schedule for this, and I might even put something at the front of this episode, the Kickstarter for the post-production on my feature film documentary releases today. So you should check that out. Go to Kickstarter.com, and the name of the film is Brace for Impact, the Crashland Story. And we've talked about it a fair amount on the show before, so I won't say too much other than that it is a feature documentary covering three brothers spending 2 years making one game while their youngest brother is dealing with stage 4B lymphoma. And it's been a phenomenal...
There was a number in there.
Yeah.
Good job.
It's been a phenomenal ride, and we are really close to being done with it, and we are essentially just going to be editing through the summer and have the film finished in August to submit to film festivals. So please, 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 we're using the Kickstarter to allow people to pre-order the film and get some other cool stuff. So definitely check that out, or go to the website at www.braceforimpactmovie.com.
Also, as you're hearing this on the 28th, I will sadly be leaving St. Louis on this day after my, what I imagine to be fantastic 4-day weekend.
As will Isaac.
Yeah, Isaac too. We're all gonna be together. Oh! It's insane.
It's going to be great. So, sweet. And you guys know what to do. Hit us up on patreon.com/geektimepod. You can listen to this and all of our other fantastic shows at soundcloud.com/geektimepod or on our website, geekti.me. I have been digging into the Mad Bad Book Club, which is Nikki Z's podcast reading terrible fan fiction chapter by chapter on podcast.
They're reading the best, worst Harry Potter fan fiction ever right now, which is called My Immortal. It's phenomenal.
That one's infamous, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's been a real treat. So make sure you listen to that show, because they have some pretty fantastic homework assignments, and they will take listener homework and read it on the air. So it's pretty great. But yeah, so I've been digging into that, and so definitely check that out. But we also have tons of other great shows. And Sam, what is the link for the t-shirts?
You can go to geektime.spreadshirt.com and you can buy our t-shirts there. We've got a Matt Campbell 2016 t-shirt, just in case the presidential candidates right now aren't treating you good. We've also got a It's Just a Box t-shirt. We've got a couple of t-shirts from the Geek Time podcast. In case you wanted to walk around with a shirt that says "Keep it sexy, y'all" on it, you can buy that too. I painstakingly designed these shirts myself, and I currently personally own the Matt Campbell shirt. The quality of these shirts are very good. The colors pop very nicely, and I'm a fan of the product itself, so definitely check that out.
Very nice. And I want to do a very, very special sign-off this week. I want all four of us at once to say, "It's just a box," all right? So we're going to do
Quit
this.
trying to rush shit,
we're gonna
okay?
do this.
We're not there yet. We're not done.
We don't
Because
have
Cole hasn't pimped
You're right.
his stuff.
You're
We
right.
still got to talk about our Twitters.
You're right.
Come on.
Cole, Cole, tell them about some stuff. What's going on? What's happening in your neck of the woods? What's going on?
Oh, it's pretty simple. First off, I'm so happy you guys asked me to be on the show. But also you can
Absolutely.
go to duckfeed.tv to check out our many podcasts. And I hope that you listen to them and enjoy them.
As they are very enjoyable.
Thank you.
Very, very nice and sweet.
Alessio, where can they find you on the Twitter?
At AC Summerfield.
And I think you can find me at Samurai DPS. Isaac.
Can't find me anywhere.
Where'd he go? He's hiding in the grass.
What was that noise? What was that just now?
Doesn't have a twit. That's just me.
21 followers and 0 tweets.
I'll-
Taking bets presently about how many followers he needs to make a tweet.
Well, guys, I said it before. I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna live tweet my first tweet. It's gonna happen.
You can tweet your bets at doesn't have a tweet. He won't respond to them.
Do you
Treat it
need
like
me
a
to
journaling
live?
device.
Do you need me to live tweet you live tweeting your tweet, Isaac?
Ooh, yes.
Okay.
Jeez.
Yes.
Can I live
We
tweet
gotta
you live tweeting his tweet?
Yeah, I'm sure. No one will notice, but we can all do it.
And someone has to do a live
and then-
commentary on this live thing.
Gotcha.
Also, Cole, you're on Twitter as well.
Yes, at Kole Ross. That is KOLEROSS because I spell my name weird.
No, you don't.
Well, that's not your fault.
Yeah, it's more my parents. Yeah, they condemn me to a life of pure Googleability. Yeah, there's no namespace illusion on that shit, so I'm okay,
Very
I
nice.
suppose. Yeah.
Very nice.
Also, before we go, I just want to put out a personal message here. Can you guys go listen to May We Have a Word? Because I'm super proud of that show.
It's a good show.
It's one of the shows on our network. I sit down with a guest, and we talk about and share anecdotes and stories based around a specific word. And I find the process of making it enjoyable, and it's one of my favorite things that I've created. So please check that out for me. Thanks.
Very cool.
And now we can do your fucking thing.
Okay.
Alessio.
All right. So I'm going to count us down, guys. Remember,
God.
it's just a box.
You're really
It's
excited.
just a box. All right, you ready?
this.
3, 2, 1. It's just a
just a
box.
box.
Just a bala banana.
Banana.
It's just a box, y'all.
That was a mess.
Yeah. I had my
It-
I had my conductor arms out and everything.
You knew this was gonna happen.
Well, yeah.
You did this to yourself, Alessio.
You could just put that on my epitaph because I feel like that's just my life in a nutshell.
I did it
You
to
did this to
myself.
yourself.
Yeah.
You know how many times I've said you did this to yourself? So many times to you.
Yeah.
You're
just proving my point.
If I saw you more often, there would be a look associated with you did it to yourself. You would know when I gave you the look that that's what I mean to say. I wouldn't even need to say it anymore. But since we live 5.5 hours apart, I have to say it all the time.
I understand.
You did that to yourself, by the way.
Is what he's trying to say.
Just a box.
You guys direct me, Sam.
Just do the one perfect and action.
Did you say nerd? I can't. That wasn't right. That wasn't right.
What do you mean?
Was that right?
It sounded good.
Okay.
Try it again. It sounded good. Try it one more time.
Did you? I can't do it.
Isaac, you can do it.
You can do it. Did you say? I can't do it. Did you say? I can't do it. I did that one.
Did you say nerd?
Did you say nerd?
Did you say nerd?
Did you say Norse? Did you say nurse?
Did you say Norse god?
Did you say Thor? King of the Norse gods?
King of the Slim Jims.
Did you say Macho Man Randy Savage?
Did you say
Hey Monarch, taking your fucking car. Did you say avoid the Noid?
Did you say do the do?
Did you say?
Carly Rae?
All the things you said, all the things you said, running through my head, running through my head. Did you say nerd?
Did you say nerds, the popular candy? TM?
No, C.
C, no, it is C. C, my bad.
You got it.
Copyright law and trademark. My bad. The difference.
All
I'll
right,
learn
Isaac,
it.
you get one more take. And
Did you say Matt Damon?
Where did that even come from?
Did you say Matt Campbell?
Did you say Ben Affleck is Batman?
Did you say Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor?
Did you say Zack Snyder should not be allowed to direct any more movies?
Did you say Zack Snyder's a puss pile sin against God?
Jesus.
No, God. They're one and the same.
Oh, okay.
They're one and the same. Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Right?
Shut it down.
3 and 1.
Do
Yeah, I know. I'm waiting right now.